Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for another webinar from Wealth Building CPA. My name is Yasmin Razak. I'm your host today, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing ASHBY Franklin at Wolf LLC, and he's going to be talking to us about the financial education services that he delivers to help people locally and nationwide, to help them with things like credit restoration, building their credit programs, and that sort of thing. But before we get into that, basically just like to welcome you to this webinar, which is part of a series with ASHBY Okoye and the Wealth Building CPA. As many of you may know, ASHBY is a CPA and an active real estate investor. She's a founder of Wealth Building CPA, and she helps people all over the country prepare their taxes online and offline and save a ton of money. So if you're interested in working with ASHBY, please hold on to the end of the webinar to get some more information. And now, ASHBY, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem.
Would you like to, just in a nutshell, tell us a little bit about Wolf LLC and what you do?
Wolf LLC is presently involved in financial education. We're dealing with a company called Financial Education Services out of Farmington, Michigan. We perform a host of financial products that we actually serve. Our main thing is to educate people financially. We're finding out that a lot of people in these trying financial times just don't seem to understand what's going on. They don't understand what their credit score is. They don't understand how important a will and a trust is. They don't understand how important LifeLock is. And we deal with all those different services and a few more.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. Well, let's go back to the beginning. Tell us a little bit about how you first got started in this line of work.
Okay. I first got started, as a matter of fact, in real estate. I started doing real estate investment from the beginning, and I first started off with single-family homes. I brought a few single-family homes in the area, in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, and we rented those homes and did Section 8 mainly out of them. In the course of learning about that, I learned that it was very convenient to go to what they call RIAs, or real estate investment groups. Went to a lot of different RIAs in Virginia and Maryland, not too many in D.C., but Virginia and Maryland I primarily focused on. Met a lot of good people, partnered with them to get involved in different real estate ventures. And I can't emphasize the importance of a person, if they're just starting off in real estate, to learn how to partner. You have to learn how to partner with good people. You got to be a good picker of people to partner with. Everybody is not a good partner. And you must pay attention to the people that you're working with and be able to work with them and be able to perform your business. One of the problems I had, I remember when I used to do a lot of residential, was the fact that in the area we had homes that we were trying to rent, and about the only way we could get them rented is through the Section 8 voucher program in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. That was very heavily influencing the market at that time. I had to go to school to learn about what is acceptable in those under the voucher program. I had to go to different classes at different times and find out different things about what the voucher program has, different rules and regulations that you have to follow. If you don't follow them, then you can't get the rentals, and you can't get people to rent your properties on the voucher program. After that, I decided to get out of residential and go into commercial. I teamed up with David Lindahl. I'm an ongoing partner with him in Bostonian Group. I'm actually still involved in two of my last real estate projects in Texas. We have two apartment complexes, the La Residencia and the La Mansion in Brownsville, Texas. Still involved in those with Dave Lindahl and his group. And that's just an ongoing project. I think we're going to be, one of those projects we're going to be selling probably, I believe it's the La Mansion is supposed to go on sale this summer. It's La Mansion is a $23 million apartment complex, luxury apartment complex. 3 swimming pools, exercise rooms, the whole 9 yards, all the luxury stuff. A lot of the people down there in Mexico come across, rent these apartment complexes right there on the border in Brownsville, and they have businesses in Texas. They come across, they rent them for their kids, they rent them for themselves to spend the weekend and do shopping in the United States, then they go back to Mexico. And that was basically the extent of my real estate experience and development.
Okay, great. Sounds very ambitious, and obviously David Lindahl's well known in real estate communities. And a lot of people listening to this call are investors or want to invest, so they'll be interested to hear about how that develops as well. Now, how did you transition from real estate into what you're doing today?
Well, what wasn't a willful transformation, might add to that. What happened was the real estate collapse happened. We all heard about that little thing. And in the course of me getting rid of different properties and getting out of different properties and getting out of legal entanglements in different properties, I came out real good. I didn't get as badly messed up in the real estate crisis as a lot of people did. And once I had extricated myself from some of the real estate properties I was involved in, I actually was looking around for another business or venture to get into. And I found out I looked at how many people were having a lot of problems with credit, with financial problems, a lot of different financial problems. I talk to people every day. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone 5 minutes ago with a lady who actually just going through a divorce, and her husband had actually put a property that didn't belong to her on her credit report. So now she's trying to get that off. Running into people every day that have minor credit problems all the way to monumental credit problems. And a lot of times I'm finding that people, it comes from them not being educated. That's why when I found out about financial education services and what they were doing, they're primarily a nonprofit company. Most of it is nonprofit dealing with the credit restoration end. The rest of it is dealing with different services that people can avail themselves of in tight economic times. A lot of people don't realize how important it is to have a will and a trust. If you have a trust, you can actually protect your income. A lot of people who dealt with real estate, I learned when I was in real estate that they tell you a lot of times to put your real estate in trust, which is a good idea. But it's not only a good idea to put your real estate in trust, it's a good idea if you have money or different types of assets that you put it all in trust. That way it can't be attacked legally, or if something happens to you, it won't go into probate and end up in the government's hands. I think everybody understands that. If you don't have a trust or a will, that the things that you have will not probably end up in the hands of the people that you want them to end up in. They end up in somebody else's hands, if not just the government hands.
I know that's a scary thought that a lot of real estate investors are maybe not aware of, but a lot of people who are aware of it just don't know that they can do something to protect their assets. Right. So it's great that we've got somebody like you on the call that they can contact for further advice. So obviously you're completely involved in real estate investing. You're completely involved in helping people repair their credit so they can become investors and do other, build financial wealth. How did you first hear about Ibarra and her team, and what did they help you to achieve?
Well, I heard about Ibarra actually through one of the last groups of RIAs I was involved in, probably about 7 years ago. Ibarra came in and gave a little presentation, and I always had good tax people. Matter of fact, one of my tax men were one man I used to have. They used to do my taxes in D.C. He actually was on the D.C. Department of Treasury. He was on the Treasury Department before he retired from there and got his own tax repair agency. Now, I worked with him, but I always wanted to have me somebody that was actually doing real estate. And when Ibarra came in and gave her presentation and showed us what she could do, I made an appointment and went to talk to her and got her to do my taxes the first year, and she gave me some good advice like she always does, and I decided to stick with her. And I'm glad as I don't know what that I found her, because she actually stays on top of the changes in everything. I mean, she helps me with my credit repair business. She helps me with the real estate that I'm still involved in. She's just all-around good person with when it comes to dealing with taxes. She doesn't slack on that. She actually tells you what the real deal is and gives you a chance to keep yourself out of trouble with the government.
Yep, and we all want to keep out of trouble with the government. That's a wonderful testimonial there about Iberi and her team. So what are some of, I know you know, obviously with real estate and with the financial services, what sort of challenges have you faced that you've had to overcome, or what advice would you give to people who are facing any sort of economic challenges?
Well, first of all, the first advice I would give them is to actually assess the problem correctly. A lot of times we have a problem with people assessing the problem from what I call a dream state. You know, it's they look at it, they see they have some type of problem, but they don't really go into it and find out how bad the problem is, or actually research and educate themselves on what they need to do to correct the problem until it's too late. They move on it when it's too late. They wait till the problem just overwhelms them or overwhelms their economic situation, and you end up having to do these bankruptcies and all these other different destructive financial means in a person's life. If they pay more closer attention to their finances, their bank accounts, their credit cards, their annuities, their investments, pay strict attention to these things, because these are the things that can come back and bite you. You want to be on top of them at all times, and if you see any irregularities, you might want to take them to Ibera and have her look at them. She has a program I've been involved in ever since I've been with her, where if I have anything with my taxes or anything business, even business advice, I can take it to her, talk to her for free, and she'll explain to me what she thinks according to tax laws and according to whatever she knows about different experiences she's experienced with other clients like that, what might happen or what could happen or what might be good and what might be bad. She's definitely a good advisor for for all the financial issues that I've been dealing with, and definitely some, you know, if you don't know, you need to ask somebody that knows. That's what a lot of people don't do. If you don't know something, you need to find somebody you trust that knows, ask them, and then listen to their advice.
Great advice. Absolutely wonderful advice. Thank you for that. Now, a lot of people listening will be interested in both the credit services you offer, and also if you're ever looking for partners for real estate deals. Is there any way people can get in touch with you?
Yes. On the real estate side, I have some dynamite connections that for some reason I just can't shake. as much as I've tried to shake them. I have a man I'm working with right now who actually has an enormous amount of, he has probably about 6 banks he's dealing with that we're actually buying bank-owned properties pretty cheap, and he has a stockpile of them. I could get you in touch with him. If you need anything done with your credit restoration, if you need a will or a trust, if you need a good debit card, as far as that's concerned, or we also have will and trust, financial and medical power of attorneys. Medical power of attorney is another overlooked thing that we don't pay attention to. We end up sick or in a car accident and in the hospital, and nobody can say what to do with the person if they're not able to talk for themselves. We have a program called Debt Zero, which is a debt payoff system that is a beautiful system for a person who wants to actually budget their money and see where it's going. LifeLock, I can't tell you how many times I've almost got hit by identity theft that LifeLock saved my butt. I'm going to tell you straight to your face. I mean, you can get LifeLock from us cheaper, and you can also get it where every time anybody attacks anything in your name online, anytime anybody hits any card that has your number on it, they automatically they stop it and they contact you. Like I said, we can also help you out with personalized debit cards. We have a bunch of different services. We have one service which is a financial protection service that has 7 to 8 products in it. You can always get in contact with me at 1-888-927-0136. Again, 1-888-927-0136. I'm always available at that number. My website is F as in Frank, E as in Echo, S as in Sierra.com. yourfes.com. You can always go in there and look at some of the services. But definitely, if you need any help, if anything, I can help any person out there individually or entrepreneur or whatever with anything with real estate or anything in financial services. My door is always open. I don't only just accept money. I actually will give you help free.
Oh, wow. Something you don't hear often. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Ashby. It's been invaluable, I'm sure, to people listening to have a wealth of information on both real estate and financial education services, which, as we all know, particularly in this country, if your credit is in disarray, then you're in big trouble. And obviously, you say the growing problem of identity theft as well. So we need to protect ourselves on all sides. So it's great. So if you are interested in that, the phone number is up on the screen. The information on how to contact Ashby, I suggest you take action and give him a call. If you're interested in any of ASHBY's CPA services, keep watching the screen after this teleseminar, and you will read some information about her wealth building program. Again, Ashby, thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.
You too. Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.